Okay, in grammar this week we are going to be looking a little more at verbs. We know that nouns are the name of something, whether it's a place or a person, or maybe even something very important such as a landscape. We are also going to be looking at what a verb is. A verb is an action or a doing word. Right now, you are completing so many verbs at home by writing or jumping for Miss Mode's ISO Olympics. Maybe you're riding, or you're sleeping, or you're eating. These are all action or doing words. You would have learned a little bit more about this already last term, but we just want to make sure that we're still on track with that. The next thing that we also need to understand is that a sentence has to have a verb. A sentence needs to have a verb to make sense. And I want to give you an example to see if this shows you. If I had a sentence in my story that said, the dog is food, there's a bit of a gap there, isn't there? Something's missing. The dog is food. The dog crunched his food. The dog ate his food. The dog gobbled his food. They are all verbs. If you can give a sentence to yourself now or tell them a sentence, I guarantee you it will have a verb in it, and we need a verb to make sense. So today I'm going to get you to think of some verbs together with mum or dad. Let's say you can come up with 3 verbs, and I want you to put them up here for remembering. I want you to then act out the verb and see if your mum or dad can guess it. I'm going to give you one now. Now, hopefully you could work out that I was coughing. Coughing is a verb. Here's another one. Singing. Singing is another verb. So you come up with your 3 verbs, and when you've got them, see if you can act out without talking, mime your verb, and see if your mum and dad can guess, and hopefully you'll come back in a moment with a score out of 3. Alright, you can probably press pause and come back. So once you press pause, you've done that, let's go on with the next part. So, over here, this activity sheet is something that your mums and dads would have been able to download for you. So I'm just showing you that just in case there were any questions, or maybe mum and dad are working and they need help with you reading it so I can read it to you. So these are very important verbs today, and it says here a verb describes an action in a sentence. Every sentence must have a verb. Verbs tell us what is happening in a sentence. The sentences below have a verb missing. Choose a verb from the verb box to complete each sentence. Reread your sentences to make sure that they tell us what happens in the story of the gingerbread man. Now, I'm sure you all know the story of the gingerbread man. The poor old gingerbread was chased by the old lady and the cow, and he got to the river and the fox offered him a lift. But the fox was very sneaky, and he kept giving him different places on his body to jump to get him across the river. And in the end, he was gobbled up by that fox. So have a look here at each question and see if you can work out what the missing verb will be. We'll do the first one together. The old woman and the old man, something in a little old house. Alright, so what have we got down here? We've got bakes, live, eats, runs, jumps, swims, and opens. Now, I'm not too sure, so I'm going to try swims, and I'm going to read it to make sure. The old woman and the old man swims in a little old house. Opens. The old woman and the old man opens in a little old house. No, I think we're going to have to try a different word. Let's try live. The old woman and the old man live in a little old house. That makes sense to me. So I'm going to come along on my sheet and I'm going to write the word live. Alright, so that means that I can then come along and I can tick off on my list the right verb. So Alana, why don't you show the children at home? I'm going to give you some clues, and I want you to see if you can act out the verb that I'm thinking of. So this is something that you will do when you're in a car in the front seat. You'll have a steering wheel in front of you, and it will be your job to make the car get from one place to another. Can you act out what you might be doing in the front seat? Would you like to come along and show us? Act it out for us. And that's called what? If you something in a car, it's called drive. Drive is a verb. Very nice driving, Logan. You can tell that sometimes my home life and my teaching life combine, as I'm sure yours are at home on this. So if you've got any questions about your sheet, remember to ask Mum and Dad, and that sheet will then also be uploaded today and sent in. So thank you very much, my models. You can go off to the end of the stage here, please, and we will sign off for our verb lesson today.
I want to